Hello, thank you for watching my video about what is your next positive relationship. There are 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is the coin, pile 2 is the money bag, and pile 3 is the dragon keychain. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the golden coin, this is your reading. The first card is the Sun card, and that's a lot of positive energy, a lot of light, and the light shines the truth. I feel like your relationship's going to be very transparent and you're going to be very honest with each other. The next card is Death, and that talks about transformations, new beginnings, new endings, and change. So I feel like the two of you might be changing together, doing things together that'll make you both change. I feel like the Sun card is Leo and Death is Scorpio. So one of you could be a Leo or a Scorpio who's watching this reading. Judgment is next, and I feel like you're both going to judge each other at the beginning in a positive way, like you're looking for pros and cons and weighing each other out and all that kind of thing. Nine of Swords is next, and that is about at the bottom of the card says isolation, and it's a mental card, like it usually means some kind of mental pain. So some of you might be a little bit negative to begin with and have a bit of past trauma occurring in your relationship. With the Justice card next, I feel like you're going to get your justice if you did have pain and trauma. I feel like this one's really going to work out for the best. 7 of Wands is next, and that's about defensiveness. So you or them could be a little bit defensive, but it's only because of this past trauma, I feel like. The 9 of Cups is next, and that's about emotional fulfillment, happiness, and reward, it says on the bottom of the card. So it's going to be a really rewarding relationship. I feel like with Judgment and Justice, it's going to be really fair. So I don't feel like anyone's going to be using anyone. It's going to be just and fair with Justice and Judgment. Love Sanctuary. Building strong trust, safe space to grow together, hidden fears revealed. So I feel like you'll move in together rather quickly with Love Sanctuary. I feel like both of you just want to be alone together. And New Heights is next, and that says having success together, different perspectives drifting away slowly, views rising, destiny. So success together makes me think that some of you are going to be self-employed with your partner and start a business, and it's going to be really successful, and you're going to be able to push each other on and encourage each other. Passing Fancy is next, and it says make time to be together, not meant to be at this time, no time for nonsense. So a lot of you are going to be taking time to be with your partner and making sure they're okay. I feel like that both of you are going to put a lot of work into this relationship and check up on each other. With Whisked Away next, I feel like you're going to be able to choose holiday destinations together and go on like little adventures. Peaceful Dance, I feel like it's going to be a harmonious relationship. I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of bickering or arguing. I think you're going to get along quite well because it is a positive relationship. Unbroken Bond, and there's a ring there. So some of you might be getting married or engaged as well. And Old Baggage is next. So anything from the past before this relationship will be healed. You won't be as cold and detached anymore. I feel like it's going to really bring warmth into your life. Dishonesty is next, and it said by lying I ripped us apart. So one of you could have told a white lie, and you could be in your head about it, feeling like it's going to be the end of the world when it's really not that big of a deal. I haven't told you everything. So maybe some of you or your person is hiding stuff that happened in the past, I feel like. And maybe there's just stuff they just don't want to tell you because they don't think it'll have a positive effect. Reciprocity, I want to have equal give and take, and that goes back to the Judgment and Justice card, which is fairness and equality. Unworthy, you're a better person than me, so I think you'll probably put each other up on a pedestal and see the best in one another. Shadow side, you made me realize my flaws. So I think you're going to learn and grow together and spur each other on to be a better person and version of yourselves. Unfinished business is next. We still have things to resolve and discuss. So with that card, I'm feeling that there might be some things that have to be brought up in the relationship. Maybe it has to do with something that they were hiding. I don't want to run anymore. Maybe one of you was trying to get away from this and then you realized that it's something really good for you. I don't know, maybe there was just a moment of doubt or negativity and maybe they just needed a break. But those last few cards, they're kind of a negative deck. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, considering it is what's your positive relationship. And next I'm just going to do a few more oracle cards. Okay, so we have Doorway, and it says an opportunity is about to present itself that leads you to a new person. Next is Alone Time. Spend some time alone. It will help you gain clarity on your relationship. I feel like with alone time, you're going to respect each other's space and not burn each other out. I feel like you're both going to have boundaries and both need time to yourselves. I think for some of you, you could both be very introverted and need alone time to recharge and recover. Boundaries is next, and it says love may challenge your boundaries, protect them. So I feel like you got to keep your boundaries up and make sure that the other person is still being respectful, which I'm sure they will be. I think that with boundaries, you're both going to have healthy boundaries with one another, like having your own space. Hideaway is next, and it says make time to be with your person, create your own special hideaway. So I feel like you're really going to put in the work together to make sure it succeeds. I feel like you're going to check up on each other, and I feel like a lot of you have had time to sit and think about what you want in the relationship, and I feel like you're going to be up, clear and honest with each other at the start. Butterfly is next, and it says you will meet a new love interest at a party or a night out. So some of you could meet this person when you're partying and celebrating and having fun. You might find each other really fun and good company, and so you decide to take it to the next level. Imperfections is next, and it says love is a beautiful mess, embrace its imperfections. So I feel like you're both going to have a realistic mindset and know that it's not going to be perfect all the time, and I feel like when it's not going perfect, it's going to be completely fine. I feel like it's both aren't delusional. I feel you both feel things clearly and honestly. The Star is next, and it says your hope and optimism are a powerful love magnet for you right now. So you're going to have a lot of hope and optimism in this relationship. I feel like it's going to last. I feel like with the ring card before, it might even end up in marriage. And that is all I'm getting for pile number 1. Thank you for watching. Hello pile number 2, those who chose the money bag, welcome to your reading. The first card is the 5 of Wands, and that's about opposition. So what I'm getting, a lot of you didn't start out in this relationship very smoothly. I feel like at first you might have had a few things that came up that made you not get along that great. But I feel like as time moved on, you kind of worked through your differences and started to get along really well. The next card is Curiosity. So for one of you, this could have started with you being very curious about the other person. So I feel like instead of them being opposition, one of you took the time out to know the other one, and that made the relationship dynamic completely change because you probably found out that you really liked each other and saw a lot in each other that you admired. The Ace of Wands is next, and that talks about a beginning. So for a lot of you, this relationship is very new or hasn't quite happened yet. The 7 of Swords is next, and that's says trickery. And I feel like some of them were hiding their emotions for you. They didn't want you to know that they liked you at first. The Magician is all about manifestation and magnetism. So I feel like this relationship manifested into something positive after a negative beginning. The Queen of Cups is next, and that talks about Queen of Cups talks about emotional fulfillment, maturity, nurturing, all that kind of motherly energy. The Find Direction card is next, and it says mutual understanding, staying on course, difficulty with stability, navigate journey, shaky. So if mutual understanding in that card, I feel like you're both gonna like just know what to do and what not to do within the relationship. I feel like you're gonna be very aware of each other's boundaries and each other's space. Very blissful is next, and it says having a joyful connection, building a prosperous union, tempted to see others, romance, fulfilled desires. So I feel like you're both going to really enjoy the connection, and it's going to put you in a very positive way, positive state. Good outlook is next, and that's just confirming that it's probably going to work. And it says entertaining possibilities, has transparent intentions, distance between you, optimistic, hope, and isolated. So there's going to be a lot of entertainment to be had. It could be going on holidays or something as simple as watching Netflix together and going out and having dinners and that kind of thing. And Seat of Affection is next, and it says comfortable with each other, letting down your guard, tendency to be controlling, support, stable, dominant. So I feel like you might be defensive at the beginning of the relationship, but I feel like as you get to know each other, you will drop your defenses. It's just a natural self-defense mechanism. Wish for more. And it says breezing in and out, planning your hopes, feeling scattered, faith, dreams, and growth. So I feel like you and your person are going to grow together and really, see the best in each other and spur each other along. And I feel like you're both going to want to be the best person you can be for each other. So I feel like you're going to change and try and impress each other. Great Outdoors is next, and it says outings, activities, has a changing nature, fleeting connection, short affair, active and fun. So some of you may be really outdoorsy people, and this could go hiking or walking, those kind of naturistic adventures. And Loving Lightly is next, and it says small joyful moments, delicate balance, not ready to commit. So I feel like it says present care flighty. I feel like at the start, one person might be a little bit flighty and unsure about this at first. They might have had wounds from the past, but I feel like they come around and they really, really like you a lot. And I feel like that just might stem from a little insecurity. I don't feel like it's going to be like a huge thing, but yeah, I feel like they definitely had their guard up in the beginning. Reunion is next. So some of you could have known each other from before, and I don't really mean that you have dated each other before. I mean more like you were friends before, or you met and then completely forgot about each other and then seen the other one again, and then started dating. And disagreement is next, and that matches the Five of Wands card we had at the start. So maybe you had a disagreement and it made you both feel like, well, nothing was going to happen, but it did, because you both worked it out and worked through your differences. Hope is next. I haven't given up on us yet. So I feel like you're both hopeful and optimistic, and that's really a positive frame of mind in a relationship. I feel like if you feed into negativity and there's too much negativity, it just won't work out. New chapter is next. I'm trying to move on. So some of you could have had baggage from a past relationship that you're still trying to clear out. I don't feel like this is going to be a negative thing though. I feel like it's a positive thing. It means you're healing. Escape is next. I want things. I left things got hard. So someone could have like vanished for a little bit, and they could have been feeling stressed out and pressured, and they might have been feeling like it's just a bit too much. Daydreaming is next. I'm always longing for you. So I feel like you're always going to be on each other's minds, and daydreaming in a positive way, kind of like deep in the connection. Detachment is next, and it said, I had to let this go so I could clear my mind. So I feel like all that is alone time. I feel like everyone needs it, and I feel like you're both going to understand each other's boundaries and need for your own space. And I have a few more cards left. So the connection card is next, and it says, love is the bridge connecting souls. Cherish those connections. And twin flame is after the connection card. So what it's saying is that it's going to be a really strong connection, the best sort of connection that you can get with the twin flame card, because that's like the ultimate match. And adventure's just confirming that you're going to do a lot of fun things together and really keep the relationship alive and fun. Friendship is next, and it says, this connection is based on friendship. It may never develop into romance. So for a lot of you, you're friends with this person for a while until you've decided to try it out and see if there's anything else in there. Anticipation is next. And I feel like it's both going to be wondering about the future, like if it's going to work out. And it says, embrace the sweet anticipation of love's arrival in your life. It's coming. So those of you who are anticipating love, I guess that means that some of you watching don't have a connection with anyone yet. But the cards are confirming that it is on its way, and it's going to be a very high level sort of connection. And together is next, and it says, find the joy in simple pleasures of just being together. So I feel like you're both going to be emotionally fulfilled and happy just being in each other's company. I guess you're going to really like each other's company a lot. And that's all I'm getting for pile number 2. Thank you for watching. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading about your next positive relationship. To start with, we have the 3 of coins. So I feel like a lot of you work together, or you have worked with this person. The 7 of cups is next, and that's about options. So you're going to both have a lot of options open to when it comes to dating. But I feel like you're going to choose each other, obviously. The 8 of cups is walking away, and I think that's walking away from the options card, because I feel like you've chosen each other. The Knight of Coins is next, and that's all about slow and steadiness and building strong foundations. So I feel like you're going to take a bit of time to know each other and not really rush right into things. The Queen of Swords is next, and she's a leader, and she's sharp and intelligent. So I feel like one or both of you are very intelligent, and I kind of know how to get this relationship started. The 3 of Cups is next, and that's about celebrating and having fun and joy. So I feel like some of you might meet each other out, having fun, like at a bar or a nightclub or a dinner or something like that. The Page of Wands is next, and that's about passionate determination. So I feel like it's also a fire sign. I feel like there's going to be a lot of fire signs watching this, and earth signs as well. Actually, there's kind of like a bit of everyone there in this. There's pentacles, there's cups, there's coins, and there's swords. We have the next card is layers of meaning, being charming and flirty, showing only a little bit, beware of appearances. So I feel like the male is going to be really flirty and, successful in winning you over. They're going to be quite charming, I feel like. And eternal blooms, nostalgic about the past, wants to grow together, unhealthy attachments, passion, past life, and addicted. So nostalgic about the past makes me feel like kids have known each other or met each other before. And I feel like the Three of Cups with the addicted message at the bottom of the card means that one or both of you like to have a bit of fun partying, and it doesn't always mean addicted as in like a daily thing. This could just be once in a while thing that you like to indulge in. I don't feel like it's a negative thing at all, because the Page of Wands was after the Three of Cups, which is about celebrating. There's no negative really mental cards or anything here, so I don't think the addicted part is really going to be detrimental. Shared space, so it says moving in together, sharing old memories, unpacking your issues, combined sorting talks. So I feel like after all the talking and the getting to know each other, I feel like you'll both move in together after a while. And Entwined Spirits is next, working as a team together, past life or twin flame, having blurred boundaries, strong, karmic, tangled. So is it both going to be doing something together? I feel like maybe this is a self-employed thing, and I feel like a lot of you are going to like just dancing together to some nice romantic music as well, looking at the image. And I feel like you're both going to be very attracted to each other, and a lot of you, I feel like, dress very well. The next is closed ties. Bound together karmically, the whole package, tied up or tied down. So close ties to me kind of talks about tying the knot. Like I feel like a lot of you might be getting married in this relationship. And lovely harmony is next, and that just proves that you get along very well with each other. And the other card had twin flame in it, the close ties one. Lovely harmony is next, and it says beautiful music together, playing passionately, strings of tension. So I feel like you're both really going to enjoy listening to music together, and dancing around and having fun is something I see for this pile. Soul contract is next, which makes me feel like this is kind of destined relationship. It says the lessons I learnt from us will never be forgotten. So you'll both be learning from one another, discovering things. Maybe you both like learning as well. Responsibilities is next, and it says I have to take care of my financial and emotional needs. So I feel like you're going to complement each other emotionally and materialistically. I feel like you're going to have good boundaries with those kinds of things too. The next one is I need more time to think and space. So I feel like you're going to respect each other's space, and you're both going to be able to have your alone time and not like crowd each other out. Unappreciated is next, so maybe one likes more space than the other one. And sometimes they might feel a bit insecure about all the space, but I feel like, they're going to realize what it is, and it's nothing really bad. Inseparable is next, and maybe that's why they feel unappreciated because of this space, because, one might want to be around the other just a little bit more. And needing a space doesn't mean you don't care. It just maybe could come across that way a little bit. Guilty is next. I feel the pain from the damage I have caused. So you're both going to be very worried about doing something wrong. And I feel like if one of you does do something wrong, it's going to feel really terrible. But it's really not going to be that bad. And I've got a few more cards to get. Okay, what I'm getting next is closure and the X. Closure is first. So I feel like this new relationship is going to help you get over your ex if there was any wounds still there or trauma from the past. I think, yeah, that's what that is definitely saying with closure, and then the X like right after the closure card. Abundance is next, and I feel like you're both going to have enough materialistic wealth to have fun and not stress out with each other. I feel like you're both very well off financially. Relax is next, and it says there's no need to rush. Let the connection unfold naturally. So that kind of goes with what the Nine of Coins is saying with like slow and steady and stability. Like it's really going to help build stability in the relationship, and the right path is next. And that's just confirming that it's going to be the right thing. And it says love is beautiful, and you're on the right path. The next card is Unseen. Love can be blind. Ensure you're not overlooking red flags. Because it's a positive reading, I really feel like there's not going to be any red flags. I feel like you should both be looking for them, but I think you're going to be able to reassure each other and keep the relationship going and work through those kinds of insecurities together. I feel like, everybody has baggage and trauma from the past, and I feel like it's going to really help heal each other. And that's all I'm getting for pile number 3.